Alright guys, so I want to go through and I want to talk about the episode of Pillar Talk. Because I've seen a lot of not only YouTube creators but a lot of people on Reddit and stuff like that talking about it, and I think there's a little bit of a, I don't want to say people are salty because they've got nothing else to be salty at, but I don't think people understand the importance of this episode. So let's break it down. Pillar Talk this week was not a Pillar Talk episode. Pillar Talk this week was a, it should have been inside, yeah, it should have been inside Pillar Talk maybe, but it should have been its own segment at the most, or it should have been inside Star Citizen, for example, or a separate show altogether. Maybe even a random show on its own, for example. But yeah, it wasn't a Pillar Talk because it really wasn't dealing with much of the pillars when it comes to gameplay. That said, what was said was hugely important and it needed to be said. So what did they go through? They go through and they talk about staggering developments. So, for example, what they're going to be doing is the feature team, they're going to be splitting it up into two sections, Team A, Team B. Team A will work on 3.7, Team B works on 3.8. When Team A finishes 3.7, they move to 3.9. When Team B finishes 3.8, they move to 4.0. And that's basically going to how it's going to be. It's a staggered development. It's how they got the name. But yeah, they're going to try this because, as Aaron has said, the past two patches have been disastrous. They've admitted that. They admitted that in the show. They were rushed. They had bugs. They had issues. They were spending way too much time on post-development. So trying to fix errors, trying to fix bugs, trying to fix coding, putting out micro mini patches and 6.1 and 6.2s and stuff like that, because the fact that these were rushed. So what they're hoping now is by spending 6 months on each feature, they can go through and they can actually get it done right, and there should be less bugs for what we encounter. Now, the downside to this is, at the end of the day, it means that we're not going to have much development input development when it comes to development. So, for example, if we don't like something when it comes to the mining, it's going to be a little bit harder to change because the development's going to be further along before we get to see it. The good side of it is that they shouldn't have to worry about constantly putting out hotfixes or trying to get the patch fixed. They can take their time, get it done right, and they can put more meat on the bones. So, for example, dynamic missions, right? They can go through and they can put in dynamic missions. They can put in some of the group systems. They can fluff it up a bit so that it's more of a substantial improvement. Now, they're going to spend about 6 months, most likely, on each feature. Around that period of time, and they're going to stagger the development so that one team will have one done, and then 3 months later the other team will have the other one done, and then the 3 months after that the other team will have their one done. So it's going to be 6 months for a feature, but they're going to be coming out every 3 months because they're going to be 3 months behind the other team, or in front, whatever you want to put it. Now, at the end of the day, this to me is really, really good. A, they've admitted they have a problem with the previous patches. B, they're not only doing that, they're also come up with a way to possibly get it fixed. And C, they're being completely honest and open about what they are doing with their development. One of the biggest things that we hear from the community regarding Star Citizen is, why aren't they open and honest with their development? We want them to be transparent. And then when they're transparent, everybody loses their shit. Really? This is what we wanted. We wanted them to be honest and tell us what the hell is going on with these patches. For 6 months now, we've been screaming about what is going on with these patches. Chris, tell us what is happening with this development. And then when they finally do it, not everybody, most people lose their shit. Nobafire, I'm looking at you. So at the end of the day, I think people in the community need to eat some concrete and harden the fuck up a little bit. Because at the end of the day, this is what we wanted. We wanted them to be honest. Yes, it wasn't a pillow talk thing. But guess what? Next week they're going to be doing that episode. They've literally got a post online now where you can submit all the questions you might have regarding pillars and all that sort of, and you know, streamline development or staggered development, whatever they want to call it. You can ask your questions there, and they will answer them next week. So we're technically getting 2 pillow talks. What is the problem? What is seriously the problem here? The only problem I had with this show was the fact that it wasn't Pillow Talk. They should have renamed it. Pre-Pillow Talk, maybe. Call it that. But everybody losing their shit because of, oh, this is not what we wanted, blah, 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 blah. Harden the fuck up. For months. Chris, tell us what's happening with development. And when they do, oh shit, salt. It was absolutely fucking ridiculous. And the only other creator at the moment that I've seen that has approached this with any sort of clarity is being Salty Mike. And when the guy that literally has salt in his name is coming off as more adjusted and well-being than some of you other creators out there, you need to have a look in the fucking mirror. And I'm not white knighting for Star Citizen and all any of this shit. Okay, this is what we wanted. We wanted them to be honest about the development. We wanted to know what was happening with these patches. For weeks, everybody's like, what's happening with 3.7? Oh, they've hardly done anything to it. What's happening with this patch and the development? There's your answer. And not only that, but they've admitted that the previous 2 patches were not a disaster, but were fundamentally flawed. They've owned up to that. And then they've come out and said, you know, okay, we're going to change it. We're going to fix. This is not working. They literally said in the episode that the past 2 patches have been delayed by weeks because of errors, bugs, whatever it may be. Jesus Christ, CIG is actually doing what we wanted, and now people are still bitching about it. Like, this community infuriates me sometimes. It really does. Because this is what we asked for. Now, as for the roadmap itself, I kind of like it. I kind of like this approach. I want to see how this approach pans out and how this approach works. Because at the end of the day, if it does work, there's staggering development. Great! If it doesn't, we'll go to plan D, E, or F, or whatever the F it may be. There's always other options. But it's clear the past 2 patches hasn't worked. And the shipbuilding team has been using this same method that they're all switching to for years now. Now, sure, some of the ships have been delayed. 890 jump, I'm looking at you. Banyu Defender, I'm looking at you. But for the most part, the ships seemingly come out on time. It's a bit of a meme in the Star Citizen industry, or the Star Citizen community, that at least the ships are out on time. Maybe it's because they're using this system. Maybe this system works. Why don't we give it a go and see how it goes? Sure, I would have loved pillow talk. Actual pillow talk. But we're getting that next week. And if you have any questions regarding pillow talk, there's a link in the description below. Go and post your questions. Get them answered. It's what I'm planning on doing. Everybody that's just pissy at the moment because there's Wasn't it an episode? This wasn't what we wanted. You're carrying on like a bunch of spoiled kids. Harden the fuck up. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Like I said, I'll put a link to that Pillows discussion post, Star Citizen Live thing next week. So feel free to go there, post any questions that you may have regarding Pillars, regarding staggered development or anything like that. And hopefully they'll answer the questions for you. Now, apart from that, guys, obviously this video has been helpful. Please smack that like. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, we'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great day and enjoy.